Hi, my name is Yulan. Today I argue that the green iron should qualify under the net zero transformation stream of the Future Made in Australia plan. Green iron means reducing iron ore with renewable hydrogen rather than coking coal. So that much of the emission-intensive stage of steel making occurs with very low emissions. It fits the stream for two reasons. Treasury estimates that steel production causes around 10% of global carbon emissions. It can materially support net zero. Second, Australia has a plausible enduring comparative advantage. In 2023, Australia produced 39% of the world iron ore. We also have abundant wind and solar resources, established mining skills. Because hydrogen is costly to transport, it may be more efficient to use it near Australian mines and export energy embodied in green iron. Treasury also projects global steel demand to rise about 13% between 2023 and 2050 under a 1.5-degree scenario. So it's not an argument to manufacture everything locally. It builds on resources Australia already supplies efficiently. But why intervene if private firms can see this opportunity? The answer is market failure. Conventional iron is artificially cheap when its carbon damage is not fully included in world prices, creating a green premium for cleaner iron. That's the unpriced climate externality. The second is a positive knowledge externality. Early projects will discover how to use hydrogen with Australian ores, especially hematite, and later firms may copy those lessons without paying a pointer. Private returns are therefore below social returns, so the relevant research will be underprovided. The last, there's a coordination problem. A green iron plant needs renewable generation, transmission, hydrogen, water, ports, skilled workers, and credible buyers at the same time. Shared infrastructure and emission certification standards benefit many firms, so no single investor has enough incentive to provide them. This is the theory of the second best. The first best policy targets the distortion directly. Government should strengthen carbon pricing and the guarantee of a region scheme fund shared infrastructure and Australia-specific research, then use competitively allocated, milestone-based production support only to bridge the temporary green premium. A tariff or local content requirement would be inferior because it would also raise prices for Australian users and create a consumption distortion. And export subsidy is even worse. It costs the budget and can worsen the country's term of trade. The budgets of $1.7 billion Future Made in Australia Innovation Fund, which includes green metals, so it's more defensible than open-ended protection, provided grants are contestable and paid against verified learning and emissions outcome. There are serious risks. Government may choose the wrong technology, support the wrong industry. Treasury itself knows that processing iron ore with renewable hydrogen currently costs far more than using coal and gas. Subsidies also draw skilled labor, capital, and renewable electricity away from other sectors. Their physical cost must be compared with hospitals, education, transmission, and other abatement options. Political economy creates another danger. Benefits are concentrated among supported firms and regions, while costs are spread across taxpayers. Concentrated groups organize more effectively, encouraging rent seeking and policy capture. Daniel Wood warns that subsidized infants can become hungry teenagers, making support difficult to withdraw. A global subsidy raise may also transfer public money to firms without creating lasting Australia productivity. So my view is cautiously supportive. Rose Gidding is right that Australians should replace declining fossil fuel export incomes through a renewables-based comparative advantage. Daniel Wood also says that cheaper imports benefits Australians and economic security doesn't automatically require domestic production. Green iron support should require an independent published cost-benefit assessment. Assistance should be technology neutral where possible decline automatically, include firm sunset dates and clawbacks, and require evidence of additional emission reduction, knowledge spillovers, and private investment. Projects that miss milestones should lose support. Australia should remain open to import equipment and cooperate with trading partners rather than impose by Australian rules. So future made in Australia is a good policy when it corrects a measurable market failure in an industry with a genuine comparative advantage. But it becomes bad policy when made in Australia is treated as an objective by itself. That's all of my presentation. Thank you very much for listening.